From house cleaning to country club, how do you bridge that gap? I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, if you go to askahousecleaner.com, there's a blue button right in the corner. When you click on that, it sends your message to me here at the show. Now, somebody clicked on that, and they asked this question.
Hi, Angela. This is Kylene from Eco Polish Cleaning in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I just want to say thank you for all you do with your podcast, YouTube show, professional cleaning networks, and your Savvy Cleaning Network. They've been really helpful to me. I'm recording this today because I have an opportunity to clean a country club. This would potentially be my first commercial client. When I set up my business and purchased my insurance, I did get insurance that would cover this event. Why I'm recording this today and asking questions is because I'm shaken at the knees. I've not yet done this, and I don't exactly know how. I'm looking for any tips or tricks for dialogue that I use or word tracks that I can use. I'm looking for tips in pricing or just general protocol as I meet with the management and finance staff of this country club. Once again, thank you so much. I look forward to hearing a response.
All right, Kylene, I love the question, and I want you to stop for just a second before we talk about protocol, and I want you to ask yourself, how did you get this opportunity? Did this come from your ads and your marketing? And the answer is, if yes, is this the response you wanted? Do you do this kind of work? And you said this is the first time you ever got this kind of an opportunity, so something either malfunctioned or it went wildly successful. So do you want more of these types of calls? And if yes, then do more of the same that got this call. If you want less of it, then don't do whatever you did in that ad, okay? So how did you get the ad? All right, the next thing is, do you do commercial work? So it's as important to know what you do in your cleaning business as what you don't do. Do you wash windows? And that's important to know because if you go to a country club and they're expecting that you're going to clean the place, are they also expecting that you wash windows? Are they expecting that you do floor care and that you will strip the floors and that you will shampoo the carpets? Do you do that as well? If no, it's important to know that we don't do that, but we outsource that to someone else. So do you have those contacts in place? So it's important to know what you do, what you don't do. All right, the next thing is, it's not just about pricing because there are a lot of variables that go into the pricing of a country club. And so while you said your insurance is great for that, is your knowledge great for that? So for example, when you go in, do you know what kind of a vacuum cleaner you're going to be using? Because if they have great big massive ballrooms and meeting rooms and wide open lobbies and entryways and hallways, are you going to be vacuuming that with a residential Shark vacuum? Are you going to have a great big riding vacuum cleaner? And if so, do you provide that, or is that something they already have on site? Now, if they have it on site, are you trained to use that equipment? Because you might be responsible for it if it's in your care, custody, and control, even if you don't know how to use it. And then the next thing is, what about the floors? Because in country clubs, we've got 5-star flooring, right? You walk in and there's not a speck of dust anywhere, and the floors are super polished. Is it your job to burnish those floors? And if it is, do you know how to run a burnisher? And do you know what kinds of pads to use on what kind of floors? And if you strip the floor, are you prepared to pay for that and replace that and have somebody else come in and redo that? So if you're not, I recommend you not take the job until you have a little bit more information. Now, when it comes to pricing, there are other things to think about, okay? Pricing is different from residential cleaning because on a residential clean, you work today, you get paid today, yay! Now, in commercial cleaning, and this is what this is a commercial cleaning job, you might have 30, 60, or 90-day terms. You're not going to get paid for 2 or 3 months down the road. And so if you have a great big country club that you're cleaning, this is not a one-person job. This is a 10 or 15-person job of people around the clock. So you're going to have people during the day, people during the breakfast, people that are going to be cleaning up the bathrooms at all different times of the day. If there are parties at night, there are wedding receptions, graduations, retirement parties, bands come to town, you're going to be cleaning up 24/7 around the clock. So how many days a week, how much is involved? And are you prepared to pay the payroll of your staff for 2 or 3 months while you're waiting to get paid? Lots and lots of things to think about. There's also some software that I do recommend. It's called Clean Bid, and it's by Clean Guru, who started a residential cleaning business some 30 years ago. And then they moved into the commercial space, and it will help aggregate all of the costs of the supplies and the time and the job and the square footage, all of those things in order to be able to give you an accurate price that you can then turn around and give to the country club owner or the manager or whomever it is you're speaking to. So I would go in with an open mind if you're going to take the conversation. And I would ask a lot of questions. Who does this now? How much are they paying now? How many people does it take to do that? Do they include the windows? Do they include the floors? Do they use your equipment? Who replaces the paper towels? Who replaces the toilet paper, right? Is that something that your company is expected to bring with you? Is that part of your inventory and part of something that you are financing included into your bid, right? Lots of different things like that that are up for grabs when you bid a contract. And then the next thing that you have to ask yourself is this where your business is headed? Because you're going to have to give up your residential cleaning part of it unless you just hire lots of people and you start outsourcing around the clock, and that's a different business model altogether. So I love the fact that you're in this situation, but what this does is just raise a whole bunch of questions. And so until you have the answers to the questions, to go out and to bid a job and just randomly pull a number out of the air would be a huge disservice to you and to the people that you're going to end up paying to come in and do the work. And then also to the service of the country club who's hiring you, because we want to make sure that they get what they're paying for as well. And if it's a 5-star resort, for example, we want to make sure that you can live up to those expectations with the new people that you're hiring, and they're going to need training in all of those areas. And so just even wheeling a cart, this is a cleaning cart. You got to make sure that you're wheeling it properly so that you don't block doors and fire codes and stuff like that, right? And it's not just a regular cleaning caddy that you carry, but it's a cleaning caddy on wheels and rolling garbage cans and things like that. And then how do you clean and stay out of the line of sight when you have parties and different people that are there as guests, right? And with your conversations are going to come a lot of the answers that you need. But I recommend that you stop what you're doing and find out more about the type of business that you're diving into. Because you wouldn't just show up at a race and go swim a race unless you had first done some training and you knew how to stretch properly in the proper gear and all that stuff, right? You don't want to show up and drown. All right, so I hope this helps a little bit. I know it's a lot to consider. It's a huge question you ask me. I hope it helps. If it does, give us a thumbs up. If you got questions or comments, those go in the notes below. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.